If you're a huge Harry Potter fan like me and you've never been to Universal Orlando, I am here to give you all the must-dos for your first trip. If you're new here, my name is Hannah, and on this channel I talk about all things theme parks and a lot of Harry Potter. I love Universal so much for so many reasons, but my number one would be the Wizarding World. As someone who grew up reading the books and watching all of the movies, I am obsessed with Harry Potter World. I want to give you my must-dos so that you can have a great time in the Wizarding World and experience as much as you can on your next vacation. The first thing I'll say is that if I was a huge Harry Potter fan going to the parks for the first time, I would definitely make sure I bought the 2-park ticket. The reason that you want this is because it's the only way you can ride the Hogwarts Express between the parks. If I was going to the parks just for Harry Potter, I would start my park day on the Universal Studios side and I would head straight to London. First thing I would do is go straight through that brick wall into Diagon Alley. After taking in all of the views and feeling like Harry Potter in that first movie where he steps into Diagon Alley and is completely in awe and overwhelmed, I would head straight to the money exchange so that I could change out some of my muggle money for some actual wizarding money. I would not go put in like hundreds of dollars, but I would go to the money exchange just so that I could have some wizard money. That's not necessary, like you don't have to use wizarding money while you're in the Wizarding World, but how fun is it that you can? Like, that is so immersive and so much fun. After I have my wizarding money, I would head straight to Ollivanders. Inside of Ollivanders, they do a wand ceremony. There is a line for it, so you'll stand in line and then you'll go into kind of like the back part of Ollivanders, and back there you will have an actor who is Ollivander, and he will choose somebody out of the crowd and say, have you ever had a wand choose you? And if you get chosen, you get to go and cast spells with an interactive wand, and then they decide which one chooses you. So it's super, super fun. And if it's not very crowded, you have a really good chance of being chosen. So that's a very fun interactive experience. Which brings me to the next thing that I would do, and that is buy an interactive wand if I didn't have one already. We went for a while without having interactive wands, and honestly, huge mistake. I love my interactive wand. It's so much fun. I can't say enough good things about my interactive wand. I know that interactive wands are super expensive, and that's why we didn't get one at first, because we were like, we are not spending $60 on a wand. But it's so much fun, and I have a video on how you can get an interactive wand for cheaper that I will link up above and then also down in the description box. So when you get your interactive wand, it will come with a map, and you can go around the park and cast spells. It's so much fun, and obviously the spells are only in the Wizarding World. While we're still in Diagon Alley, I would go to Madame Malkin's and try on some wizarding robes. Even if it's super hot outside, even if you're not gonna buy them, it's so much fun to just like kind of immerse yourself into Harry Potter world and think like you're going to Hogwarts. So when you leave Madame Malkin's, you turn to the right, and then right there's a little archway. It looks dark and gloomy, and it honestly just looks like a place where there's a bench. But you keep walking through there, and Borgin & Burkes is inside of there. There are so many window displays, lots of places to use your interactive wand, and it will come through on the other side of Diagon Alley. I think Nocturne Alley is one of the most fun places in the Wizarding World. I think Borgin & Burkes is such a fun shop that has so many cool props, so I would definitely recommend checking that out. I know a lot of people miss it on their first visit. Okay, after I had all of that done, I would head out of Diagon Alley and back into London, where I would go to King's Cross Station. And this one is the reason that you need the 2-park ticket. The line at King's Cross is super, super cool. So there are some posters from the movies, there are suitcases and owls, and you even get to run through platform 9 3/4. It's so much fun. Make sure when you're running through the platform, you leave somebody back to take a video of you, because it looks like you disappear straight through a wall. It's super cool, very immersive once again, and you'll end up right on the platform ready to board the Hogwarts Express. I personally like taking the train from Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade because it follows more of a realistic storyline, and it's literally what they did in the books and the movies. So Of course it's what I want to do. When you get off the train in Hogsmeade, I would definitely suggest trying a butterbeer. A butterbeer is a must, and there are tons of little carts or restaurants that serve it in Hogsmeade. There's a butterbeer cart right outside of Honeydukes and up towards the castle as well. And you can also get butterbeer drinks in the Three Broomsticks or the little bar that's attached to it. You can get a regular butterbeer, a frozen butterbeer, or a hot butterbeer. And honestly, the regular butterbeer is the worst out of them all, but it's iconic, and that's the one you have to try on your first go. The hot one is my personal favorite. It tastes so good, but a lot of people do like the frozen. I would just kind of base that on what time you actually go to the parks. While you're drinking your butterbeer, you can walk around Hogsmeade, cast some more spells with your interactive wand, and head to the bathroom where you will hear Moaning Myrtle. Again, a super fun and interactive touch they really thought through well when they were planning this world. The next thing on my list is kind of funny and people might think it's hilarious and weird, but it's gonna be to walk through the queue of the Forbidden Journey. I say this only because I don't value getting sick, but I do value seeing everything that's in that queue. Take your time going through that line. Walking in is amazing. You get to see Hogwarts from so close up and the perspective is fantastic. So you get inside, you get to go through all the classrooms, you get to go into Dumbledore's office, and you see so many cool things. So really take your time going through there. And when you get up to the ride, you can just bounce if you don't want to ride the Forbidden Journey, because that's one ride that makes people sick. So if it were me personally, I wouldn't ride the ride, I would just walk through the queue. But if you're not someone that's bothered by like motion simulators and all that kind of stuff, then go for it. The last must do for me would be to ride Hagrid's. You can wait until it's like the end of the night and they're about to shut down the line for that ride, because the line's gonna be really long at all times. But I'm telling you right now, that is my favorite ride. Not just in the Wizarding World, not just in Universal, it's my favorite ride. It's a roller coaster that immerses you in the experience. You're right there with Hagrid the entire time, and there are so many cool animatronics. So I highly recommend getting on that ride, but kind of wait until later towards park close so you're not wasting a ton of your time during the day. There are so many other things that you can do in the Wizarding World that are so much fun. In Diagon Alley, you can go to Florian's where they have the best ice cream flavors. The Weasleys have their joke shop. There's a pet store where you can get a magical pet. The Escape from Gringotts queue is almost as good as the Forbidden Journey queue. You can go to Honeydukes in Hogsmeade and even send a postcard at the Owl Post. So there's no shortage of things to do inside of the Wizarding World. You could definitely spend a whole day there if you just wanted to immerse yourself in the total Harry Potter experience. But those are my top tips and must-dos for your Wizarding World vacation. If I left something off of this list that you love, please leave it down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel so you'll see more like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one.